Hello, my name is Jennifer Collins, and I'm here to talk about vaccines. What is a vaccine? According to WHO, which is the World Health Organization, vaccines are a safe and effective way to train your body to form a resistance to a certain pathogen. Most vaccines are given by injection, but there are some that are given orally and up the nose. Did you know that the first vaccine is credited to Edward Jenner? He found that milkmaids who got cowpox, a mild disease related to smallpox, did not get smallpox, which led him to experiment on an 8-year-old boy by inoculating the boy with cowpox pus. After the boy got cowpox, the boy did not get smallpox. This discovery led to the creation of the smallpox vaccine, which helped eradicate smallpox later on. Vaccines work by using our immune system. When you get a vaccine, our immune system reacts in multiple steps. First, it recognizes the pathogen, then it creates antibodies to fight off the pathogen, and lastly, it remembers the pathogen, so it's able to fight off the pathogen much faster next time. There are multiple types of vaccines. According to the HHS, the Department of Health and Human Services, there are 6 types of vaccines: inactivated vaccines, live attenuated vaccines, messenger RNA or mRNA vaccines, subunit recombinant polysaccharide and conjugate vaccines, that is one type of vaccine, toxoid vaccine, and viral vector vaccine. Depending on the pathogen and how the scientist wants to train your immune system to fight off the pathogen is what type of vaccine you get. Inactivated vaccines use the killed version of the pathogen that causes the disease. This is not as effective as live attenuated, as you do not have a live pathogen, so you have to get multiple doses or booster shots to be able to keep the immunity. Live attenuated vaccines have the weakest or attenuated version of the pathogen that causes the disease. It also happens to be one of the most effective vaccines, but people with weakened immune systems are not able to get this, as this does have a live pathogen in it. Messenger RNA or mRNA vaccines make proteins to trigger an immune response, which means there is no live pathogen in this vaccine. But this is also a very new type of vaccine, so I wasn't able to find a lot of research on this. Subunit recombinant polysaccharide and conjugate vaccines use specific pieces of the germ, like its proteins, sugar, or capsid, a casing around the germ that really keeps the germs safe. This is safer as there is no live gem, so people with weaker immune systems can also get this vaccine. Toxoid vaccines uses a toxin created by the germ. So in this case, the toxin is what causes the disease, so the vaccine fights against the toxin. Then we have the last type, which is the viral vector vaccine, which are vaccines that have a modified vector, which is a circular DNA that has whatever modification the scientists want to do. And this vector can actually transfer specific DNA or sequences into genetic materials into the host cells. This is also a very new type of vaccine, so I really wasn't able to find a lot of research on this. Vaccines are made through 7 major steps, according to CDC, which is the Centers for Disease Control. These stages are research and discovery, proof of concept, testing the vaccine, the manufacturing process, approving the vaccine, recommending the vaccine for use, and monitoring safety after approval. All vaccines start in the lab. This is where the research and discovery stage begins. The scientists start experimenting with the pathogen to understand it better. And once they find the antigen, which is the thing that's in the vaccine that causes an immune response and causes the creation of antibodies, then they move on to step 2, which is research and discovery, or also known as preclinicals. But normally the lab takes about 10 to 15 years. So step 2, which is proof of concept or preclinicals, they must prove that the vaccine is effective and be able to cause an immune response. This normally happens by scientists injecting small animals like mice with the vaccine to show that there is an immune response and how effective this can be. And during this step, scientists can actually adjust the vaccine to make it more effective. But before they go into step 3, which is clinical trials, they must submit their research to the FDA for review to show that it is working, how effective this vaccine is, and also to make sure whatever problems they have isn't going to kill somebody. So after the FDA reviews this application, they can move on to step 3. Step 3 is normally broken into 3 phases, but it actually becomes 4 after the drug is approved for the FDA. Phase 1 is when scientists give the vaccine to a small group of people, normally around 20 to 100. This is just to see how effective the vaccine is at creating immune response in the body, and also it shows some of the side effects. Now, step 2 is when the group gets a little larger, so normally around 100 to 300 people. the type of people also gets more precise to the target audience, like age and physical health. They will also add more people from multiple diverse backgrounds to ensure even representation. This step normally shows what kind of side effects are more common and what is less common, and also how effective the vaccine is. Phase 3 is around 1,000 to 3,000 people. This phase is to see the side effects that are also more common and less common, and to see how effective the vaccine is. Also, they collect information to use the vaccine safely. Phase 4 is done after the FDA approves the vaccine, which is when the vaccine gets to be put on the market. This group is a few thousand people, and this phase is just for evaluation of safety and effectiveness over time. Phase 4 is the approval process. This is when the company will submit a BLA, which is a biological license application. This has clinical trials and preclinical trial data, details about the manufacturing process, info about the manufacturing facility. This application also has prescribing information. The fifth stage is the large-scale manufacturing process. After the FDA approves the vaccine, the company starts large-scale manufacturing, which means they'll start to make the vaccine in large batches to sell to a bunch of people. While they are doing that, the FDA will come and check their manufacturing facilities to make sure that everything is okay and there is no cross-contamination that can kill someone. This inspection will continue as long as the company has the license to this vaccine and is manufacturing it. Sixth stage is recommending the vaccine for use. This normally is done by the ACIP, which is the Advisory Committee on Immunization Practices. They are a group of medical workers that create recommendations for vaccines in the US. After the ACIP recommends a vaccine, the CDC director will review this recommendation, and if the CDC director approves the recommendation, it becomes the CDC public safety for the vaccine in the US. The seventh and final stage is monitoring safety after approval. Safety is always a priority, has always been the priority. Even after all these steps, they have random inspections that are done, mostly by the FDA, and sometimes the FDA and CDC will use a lot of public monitoring tools to help monitor how safe this vaccine is. Thank you so much for listening.